ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
Of course, Emperor Palpatine. I know quite a bit, and that's why today I'm making a Secrets of the Force video on Darth Plagueis. The prequels were filled with unanswered questions that helped build the Star Wars universe, such as Master Sifo-Dyas' history, the Space Angels Anakin refers to in Episode 1, and of course, Darth Plagueis. The Wise Master's first appearance occurred in Revenge of the Sith, when Darth Sidious lures Anakin to the dark side by using the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise to convince him that the dark side can help him save Padme. Here's what we know for sure about him. Darth Plagueis was a male Sith Lord who was the master to Sheev Palpatine, otherwise known as Darth Sidious. Together, they hoped to destroy the Republic and the Jedi to bring about a new Sith Empire.
Once more, the Sith will rule the galaxy.
Plagueis was so powerful in the Force that he could manipulate midichlorians to save people from dying. Although he became one of the most powerful Sith Lords to ever live, he constantly worried about losing his power, which gave his apprentice the perfect moment to obliterate him. At some point prior to the Battle of Kashyyyk, Palpatine killed his master in his sleep and took on a new Sith apprentice. The first apprentice Darth Sidious took on was the son of Mother Talzin and was a Dathomirian Zabrak with the title Darth Maul. The rest of Plagueis' story was told by James Luceno in one of my favorite Star Wars books, Darth Plagueis. Unfortunately, since the book's release, it has been put into the Legends category after the rights of Star Wars went to Disney. But luckily, the story was not completely wiped away from the record. In Luceno's newest Star Wars book, Tarkin, Sidious refers to Plagueis and canonizes a lot of the information Luceno established in his previous book. The rest of this video is purely Star Wars Legends, and primarily comes from James Luceno's novel Darth Plagueis. Since this is one of my favorite books, I will leave the book's link to Amazon in the description of this video if you'd like to read it yourself. Without further ado, here's the full tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise. Darth Plagueis' entire life occurred in order for him to become a menacing Sith Lord. Once the Bane lineage of Sith Lords was passed to Darth Tenebrous, he began to search for an apprentice. Tenebrous, known to the public as Rugus Gnome, came into contact with a Force-sensitive Mun named Car Damask, and would later be the father to Plagueis. Later in his life, Rugus Gnome came into contact with a lower-class female Mun, who he recruited as a disciple to the dark side, but she was too weak in the Force to be considered to be an apprentice. Using Bith biological science, Darth Tenebrous believed that the child of his disciple and Car Damask would produce a suitable apprentice, so he tasked his disciple to seduce Damask. Around 200 to 100 BBY, Hago Damask II was born on Magito and was raised there by his mother. On the Ice World, he received constant observation and mainly lived in seclusion from other Muns. Hago realized he had the ability to use the Force while playing with a group of children. He learned he could manipulate them, and Hago even manipulated a youngling he disliked to jump out of a window. Hago was eventually given up by Car to Darth Tenebrous in exchange for a higher position for Car in the Intergalactic Banking Clan. After Tenebrous advanced Car's position, Car eventually advanced to become the director of the Treasury branch of the IBC. Now that Darth Tenebrous had finally received the apprentice he was looking for in Darth Plagueis, they traveled the galaxy creating chaos for the Republic. With the aliases of Rugus Gnome and Hago Damask, they became acquainted with the dangers of the Outer Rim and the slums of many worlds. Later in his life, at some point, Hago Damask inherited his father's fortunes and took over the Sojourn Gatherings, which was the annual meeting place for politicians, gangs, and bankers. The Sojourn Gatherings took place in Damask Holdings and was on the moon of an unknown planet named Sojourn. The gatherings were originally used as an elite club, but Plagueis changed it to be a place of manipulation and strategy meetings. After receiving his father's wealth, Plagueis felt a whisper in the Force while on a mission with Darth Tenebrous. The Force told Plagueis that his master's time was completed, so when the ceiling of a cave began to collapse, Plagueis determined that his master had outlived his purpose and that it was time for his death. In Tenebris' final moments, Plagueis examined the midichlorians in Tenebris' body as he died, and Plagueis noticed his master was trying to possess his body to sustain his consciousness. Tenebris' attempt failed because of Plagueis' resistance. Once Plagueis killed his master, he also learned about his former master's secret apprentice, who he defeated quickly, but experimented on for many years to come. Plagueis was now the lone Sith Lord in the galaxy. In correspondence with the Rule of Two, he needed an apprentice and he found one on the planet of Naboo. In 65 BBY, Plagueis hoped in Naboo's next election that the liberal candidate who was under the support of Damask Holdings and the Trade Federation would win and allow those groups to begin mining the plasma veins on the planet. A boy known as Palpatine was sabotaging Damask Holdings' opponent in the Naboo election. This intrigued Plagueis because Palpatine was plotting against his own father's chosen candidate, so Plagueis decided to meet him. After speaking to Palpatine and learning a great deal about his quest for power, Plagueis convinced him to reveal his true nature because he sensed he was holding himself back. When Palpatine finally released his inner rage and resentment towards his parents, he murdered them in cold blood and also exposed his incredible Force abilities. Hago Damask disclosed his true identity to Palpatine and took him as his apprentice. Palpatine was now Darth Sidious. With the support of Damask Holdings, Palpatine quickly grew to possess a very successful political career and even became Senator of Naboo. While training Sidious, Plagueis commanded him to also train a young Zabrak as a Sith assassin. This Zabrak was named Darth Maul, but was not considered to be a Dark Lord of the Sith by Sidious and Plagueis. The Sith Lords were now a very powerful force in the galaxy. Together, Plagueis and Sidious orchestrated the Trade Federation to begin the Naboo Crisis in 32 BBY, which set the stage for Palpatine to become Chancellor of the Republic. Not only did the crisis give the Sith Lords an opportunity to gain more power in the Republic, but it also led to the Sith's discovery of young Anakin Skywalker. They realized that the boy possessed a connection to the Force matched by no other, and the duo believed he was conceived to be the chosen one to balance the Force because of the Sith Lord's attempt to spontaneously create life. After Plagueis received a vision of the boy becoming a dark-suited cyborg who had the power to change the galaxy forever, Plagueis commanded Darth Maul to kill Qui-Gon Jinn to stop the supporters of the boy's Jedi training. Although the Jedi did end up training Anakin Skywalker, Darth Sidious would eventually convince the Chosen One to become his apprentice and become Darth Vader. In order to create a Sith Empire, the Sith first need to bring the galaxy to its knees. To continue the Sith's grand plan of controlling the galaxy, Darth Plagueis preyed on the fears of the rebellious Jedi Master Sifo-Dyas and convinced him to commission an army in the name of the Republic with the funds of Damask Holdings. Master Sifo-Dyas did this to create an opposing force that could combat the Trade Federation's growing droid army. I explain all of Master Sifo-Dyas' story in my first Secrets of the Force video, and I will leave a link to that video in the description. Now that both alliances of the future Clone Wars were prepared for war, and Palpatine was about to become Chancellor of the Republic, the Sith's grand plan to control the galaxy was almost complete. The night prior to the election, which would make Palpatine Chancellor, Palpatine determined Darth Plagueis' worth had expired. After getting the Sith Lord very tipsy, Darth Sidious struck his master down. Although he never got to see the Sith grand plan to completion, Darth Plagueis did do a great deal for the Sith cause. From his years of studying midichlorians to his influence through economics, Plagueis will forever be remembered as setting the path for the Sith to rule the galaxy. Now it is time for the Star Wars question of the day, and this will be my last week of doing the trivia. Unless a large amount of people want the trivia back, I think I will stop for a while. I'd rather make videos designated only for trivia instead of doing it at the end of other videos. What are your thoughts on doing trivia? Please leave your ideas in the comments section. Last week's question was, what is the sector Senator Amidala represents in the Galactic Senate? The correct answer is B, the Chamel sector. Thank you for watching this episode of The Secrets of the Force. It was a very long video to make, but it was also a highly requested video, so if you enjoyed, please like and subscribe to my channel, Watso Videos. We have recently started making videos beyond Star Wars, so please check out those videos as well. If you would like to follow Watso videos on social media, you can find the links in the description. If you have any ideas or questions you'd want answered in a video, then please leave your thoughts in the comments section. I am always looking for new ideas, so please ask away. I make Star Wars Secrets of the Force videos every Sunday, so please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and may the Force be with you.